webinar, uh, this webinar on festive marketing, which we're putting together with Quora. I thanking you all for joining us on a Thursday afternoon, and I think we're doing this after a quite some time. So, would love to hear from you guys on your experience. So, like you all registered for uh, you've already read the agenda that what we're going to do today is we're going to discuss how brands should be approaching festive marketing in 2023, given that festive season is one of the biggest season for advertisers and marketers in India. This is the time when consumers switch from their saving mode to the spending mode, and it that makes it more important for brands to be prepared. And today we put together an interesting lineup of sessions. The first one being a masterclass on how brands can use Quora ads more effectively. And this masterclass would be delivered to you by Priyal Jain. She's the head of growth and partnerships APAC and Middle East Asia for Quora. And we also have Biju P. Nair, who's the senior client partner at Quora. Welcome, Priyal and Viju. I would request you to come on screen. So by the time they come on board, I would want to understand from you, and if you're watching this on Zoom or on LinkedIn, if you guys are prepared for the busy festive season or the planning is still in the works. Hi Viju. Good
Hi,
afternoon.
hi Hitesh. Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
All good, yeah.
Great, great.
So we'll wait for Priyal to join in.
Really
Hi
sorry.
Hitesh, how are you doing?
Good, Priyal. I'm good. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
So over to you guys to start the masterclass, and then I'll follow through with the panel discussion.
Perfect, perfect. So let me just share my screen and we can get started. Hey everyone, good evening and warm welcome to the webinar. My colleague and I are going to take you through a quick presentation to help you elevate your festive campaign on Quora this year. Little bit of us before we get started. Myself, Viju, like Hitesh mentioned, I am a senior client partner and also the business head for Quora in the South market. It is my pleasure to introduce my co-host for this session, Priyal Jain. Priyal is the head of growth partnerships at Quora in Asia Pacific and the Middle East. In the next few slides, Priyal and I will be sharing some very interesting festive insights and trends among Quora users. Without further ado, let's dive right in. Over the next few slides, we will take you through festive industry trends around festive season, share some interesting audience insights, and get into user data and the conversations going on in the most popular topics on Quora. We will also help you understand how to best leverage Quora during this time and explain the ad products and targeting solutions so you can choose the right fit for your campaign. For creative inspiration, we will also be sharing our best practices and case studies. Festive marketing in India. When it comes to shopping in India, nothing compares to the excitement and anticipation of the festive season. From indulging in personal treats to selecting the perfect gifts for your loved ones, it's the time that shoppers of all categories wait for all year round. Because who doesn't like a good bargain with festive discounts and offers on popular products? So be it bargain hunters, product explorers, or brand lovers, everyone gets excited for the festive season. With extensive research and planning, the excitement builds early in the season as shoppers search for their perfect items to add to their cart. The festive shopping season sees a surge in verticals, specifically like consumer tech electronics, automobiles, and fashion and jewelry. From last year's data, we've seen that fashion enthusiasts produced a 97% surge in total sales of apparel, footwear, and accessories. Shoppers also showed peak interest in consumer tech and electronic products during the festive season that showed a 25 to 30% jump in the sales of mid to high-end appliances. Another vertical, auto buyers were equally eager to make their purchases with sales up by 28% year on year. Of course, a lot of research goes into these big purchases, right? Shoppers seek credible reviews, information, and recommendations, sometimes starting their research months in advance. Now, why use Quora Ads for your festive marketing? Every conversation on Quora is driven by the community. So the users who come here for answers are using our upvotes and engagement to really highlight what answers are the most valuable to them. And that's how we built our system. So when you look up a question seeking an answer, you will see some very relevant answers at the top of the feed itself. And that's what keeps our users coming back time and again. And it's so fresh and exciting every time you come into Quora looking for those answers, because the best stuff is always at the top and it's evergreen and it's probably the easiest to find. Quora is a different platform. What makes Quora different is that our platform, our users are not really the passive scrollers. It's also not a place where people have already decided or already made up their minds. The user mindset on Quora is more about I'm actively learning, I'm researching, I'm investigating, I need more information. I am not ready to make a decision yet, but I'm getting very, very close. And I need real feedback from people that have been there, done that, and have personal experience to back it up. It's not your friends and family that you're following per se. Rather, Quora is designed to surface what are the best question and answers based on your own interest and the questions you are consuming across our platform. And as we all know, the buyer journey, it's not really a funnel. We wish it were that straightforward, but rather it's a bunch of non-linear touch points, all of which are building momentum towards that final decision. Our global survey partner, Global Web Index, has reported that 65% of Quora users in India conduct research regularly before making their purchases. So being able to reach audiences in this deep research mode can be a prime time moment to influence their next move. Millions of internet users come to Quora to read, to learn more, and to educate themselves on wide variety of topics. A good number of users navigate Quora via search. So being present on Quora as a brand, what you're doing is you're essentially closing the loop with an audience that started their journey with search and landed on Quora in the consideration phase of their purchase journey. So Quora is a very valuable platform for advertisers to reach a high intent and engaged audience. The platform attracts users who are actively researching products and brands, reading expert opinions, watching product reviews, doing an all-round thorough research before making that big purchase. In fact, as the data shows, 43% of our users watched a product review video in the last week, and majority of users shopped and browsed online for products as well. Compared to other platforms, Quora users are more receptive amid the perfect audience for brands to target. By answering the questions that they are asking and engaging with popular conversations related to your category on the platform, you have the opportunity to achieve thought leadership, be present, and reach the user at the right time. Now that we have walked the talk, now it's time to walk the walk and delve into the engagement data. We will also share a glimpse of these high intent conversations and examine some insights about the Quora audience. Let's begin. You may have already noticed that we do a lot of research on our users. Our research shows that conversations on festive shopping and purchases see an upward trend through October and November. With the festivities in full swing, Quora users are always scouting for the best deals, the best online stores, and gift ideas for their holiday shopping. Again, on a GWI survey, More than half of Quora users have admitted that they spend time looking for best deals. And about 46% say that they intend to spend more on gift during this festive season. So again, this is the perfect time to reach these holiday shoppers who are researching before making those much awaited purchases for themselves or their family or their friends. The most awaited sales during the festive period are probably the consumer tech sales. Many of us wait all around the year to get the latest gadgets and appliances on heavy discounts. Consumer tech content views tend to skyrocket in the midst of the festive season, naturally, when the biggest sales are going on at that particular time. Questions related to mobile phone recommendations grew by almost 6 times in November last year. There was also a significant growth in household appliances and laptop recommendations questions as well. This is probably the best time again to reach users who are comparing products and brands, reading reviews and testimonials, looking for recommendation, whether they're choosing a new phone or for themselves or for upgrading their laptop or looking to purchase home appliances or electronics. These high value shoppers are flocking Quora to make their decision. Automobiles is another big category where we see engagement spike during festive months. Cars and two-wheelers are major purchases which people save up and set out to buy during the auspicious occasions and lucrative festive season deals. Interestingly, much of the research for auto purchases happens much before the festive season itself. In fact, content views go up at this time of the year as early as June, as you can see in this graph. Auto buffs are comparing graphs, cars, and researching models and specifications. Purchase intent starts to increase during this festive season as users start looking for recommendations and advice. Questions related to car recommendations went up 9 times in November last year, and questions about car buying advice nearly doubled on our platform. People are attentively researching the car models, the car brands, whether to go electric or not this season, reliability or loan options before making that much anticipated purchase, which they have been saving up for. This is the perfect time again to reach these users and influence them in the early research phase. So there is a recall when the time of purchase is very near. Festive season also calls for refurbishing your wardrobe, buying the latest trending outfits and traditionals for the festive occasions. Questions related to fashion, clothing, jewelry, and other topics go up through the festive season. Users come to Quora to get inspired by the latest fashion trends, look for the best fashion and jewelry brands, read reviews, and everything in between. The prime time for fashion and jewelry brands with festive campaigns to reach users on Quora starts as early as July, all through till December. Now, to take you through the next half of the session, I would like to invite my co-host Priyal. Priyal, over to you.
Thank you, Viju. I'll go ahead and share my screen.
Thank you.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Viju, for sharing those insights with us. And we would now like to talk about how your brands can leverage Quora this festive season. Quora offers a variety of ad formats to help reach a high intent audience and influence future decisions during the festive season. Today, we want to particularly focus on two ad formats that we believe will be a great mix for your festive marketing portfolio: video ads and promoted answers. But before we deep dive into any of these ad formats, I want to share a quick overview of how you can reach out to your users on Quora. First, we have contextual targeting, where you can show your ads to users that are engaging with relevant topics, keywords, and questions on Quora. Second, we also have behavior targeting, where you can show ads based on a user's intent on the platform. This includes interest-based targeting and past engagement on keywords, questions, and answers. Under this particular option, we've also launched a new targeting criteria called answer history retargeting. This is where you can show your ads to users who have previously read an answer for a specific period of time. This goes up to 30 days. Our third option is audience targeting, where you have the ability to create audiences to retarget your website traffic, create a list match by uploading a contact list on Quora, and you can also create a lookalike of these audiences and reach out to them. Lastly, we have broad targeting to help you maximize your scale and impressions on Quora. Under this, we've again launched a new feature called auto targeting, where Quora uses its machine learning system that will help you automatically determine the best targeting configuration to reach your audience, as well as optimize your performance over time. Moving on, let's talk about video ads for this festive season. Before I talk to you about how video ads work on Quora, I want to share what other brands are doing on the platform and how are they using video ads. First up, if you see the ad by Duroflex, they've created an engaging video that opens with a hook to establish their product use case effectively. World Gold Council here has created a video that highlights a story on why gold is a great investment for you. Vida is promoting electric scooters and their test rides by sharing a product demo video. And Smitten over here has used a strategy where they've used caption your content in a video that is effectively communicating their brand story. Now, what is video ads on Quora? Video is a great way of reaching out to users on a text-based platform like Quora. The video ads on our feeds will autoplay for users and on mute currently. We offer a broad range of metrics in our dashboard for tracking purposes, and there's an opportunity over here for you to easily repurpose your existing assets. Now, here's a question that I get asked most often in my calls. How can I create engaging content on Quora? And I want to share some tips around it. First, defining a clear objective is very important. It could be telling your brand story, product demo, use cases, or even customer reviews. Ensuring that your video is optimized for mobile because Quora is heavily accessed by mobile users. Opening with a hook becomes very important. Previously, we've noticed that if you have a great curiosity created in the first few seconds, there is a great chance of a good completion rate on your video. We also believe that shorter videos work well on Quora. Usually 15 seconds is a sweet spot that we would recommend. Tell a compelling story in your video. So craft a compelling narrative and a narrative that aligns with your brand's values. So creating an emotional connection with your audience by using relatable characters also helps. Caption your content and including subtitles in your video ads is a great way of effectively communicating your brand story, even without sound. Although many users do watch videos without sound, you can surprise and delight those that happen to be listening. So be intentional when you're matching your audio, whether it's music, voiceovers, or mentions of your brands, make sure it aligns with the video. We also recommend incorporating clear branding in your video. So be it colors, brand logo, visual elements, just include what identifies with your brand the most. Lastly, conducting an A/B test with different variations of videos, optimizing your video ads, testing call to actions, narratives is very important to see what resonates with your audience the most. Moving on to our next ad format, promoted answers. This is the most unique and native ad format that we have on the platform. Promoted answers can help you tell a brand story effectively on Quora. You can influence your customers by sharing detailed information on your product use cases, offerings, customer reviews, and more. These ads are shown to users all across the Quora platform and can be promoted using a business profile as well as an individual profile. Promoted answers can be used to repurpose existing content from your white papers. You can work with influencers to tell your brand story, or also link your website within the answers to drive a high intent traffic. So what are the benefits of using a promoted answer? Quora as a platform, like Viju mentioned, is evergreen in terms of knowledge. We promote answers that are relevant for years to come and not a short-term based answer. This particular nature of the platform helps you keep high quality content, which stays evergreen, and it can help your audience grow within Quora, also through organic search traffic that drives people. Answers that are written on Quora is a great way for establishing thought leadership by using relevant topics, industries, products, as well as having a voice in questions that are being asked about your organization and products directly. With that, let's take a look at what other brands are doing in terms of promoted answers on Quora. Haffle over here has opted for a category focused approach where they're answering questions around home appliances. For example, they've opted to answer questions around advantages of buying convertible refrigerators, ovens, chimneys, etc. This kind of content strategy, I believe, will help them influence the future decision making during festive and sale periods. Tanishq over here has chosen to highlight their bridal jewelry collection by talking about trends and tips. But what they've done differently is they've included images and videos in their answers that make it more engaging. Brands like Chroma, Oppo, Godrej Appliances here have focused on questions related to specific products, their features, advantages, and where and how users can buy them. This particularly can help you a lot during your festive sale periods. You'll now be wondering that how to create this kind of engaging and informative content on Quora. We truly believe in terms of quality over quantity. This means that it's important to focus on the factually correct statements to establish credibility. That helps provide an end value to your user. We also encourage repurposing content from your website blogs and white papers. This particularly can also help you post answers and new questions that can help highlight your brand name within those questions as well. That will also push your thought leadership marketing. Including images and videos in your answers is a great way to get high CTR. Images don't necessarily mean product images, but could also be infographics that can be telling your brand story. A new tip that I have is to use a chat platform. Quora has launched an AI chat platform called Po, which you can use to get more information about an industry or insights about a brand. This can then be used as a basis to create an answer on Quora, though, of course, we'll fully recommend to add your own touch to this and not fully copy a content on Quora. Lastly, writing from a business profile always helps in getting more credibility out for your brand. After all these tips, I want to share one particular success story with you. Headphone Zone over here was looking to establish thought leadership as well as become an influencer in their category. And to do so, they used promoted answers. They were able to reach audiophiles by answering questions around noise cancellation, wireless earphones, gaming headsets, and this resulted in 2.6 million content views on PA with a CTR of 3% and 90 plus purchases in only 2 months. They were also able to leverage our contextual targeting by targeting topics related to audio devices, brands, and industry terminology. With this, I also want to share what are the advantages that we're offering our brands this festive season. Firstly, you'll have a dedicated Quora expert who will work closely with you to help identify, plan, and execute customized campaigns. This can be done through one-on-one consultations. For larger campaigns and brands, we're also offering a feature of answer writing service from the Quora team. With our ad review support, you can expedite ad copy consultations and direct ad approvals. Education and training is something that we focus on a lot, and we offer it as an on-demand service to help train your team and scale their expertise on the Quora ad platform. We can also share category insights above and beyond what we've shared today and give you exclusive access to our beta features and marketing materials. Lastly, I'd like to invite all brands present over here today to connect for a consultation with us on Quora Ads. And with that, I'll hand it over to Hitesh for a panel discussion. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Priyal and Viju, for this enlightening session. I think there are a lot of learnings for people and a lot of food for thought when they come to plan the festive marketing season, this festive marketing season. So we're not taking any questions right now because we're falling short of time. But folks, if you have any questions for them, you can share them with us on LinkedIn or on the Q&A section of this webinar, and we'll get them answered by them later. So, like, can we head to the panel discussion now? Team, do we have all the speakers for the panel? Hemil, Siddesh, Shraddha, Abhishek, if you're there, can you turn on, like, can you come on the screen, please? Team, can we promote them to the speaker slot? Hi, Abhishek. Hi, Hemil. How are you?
Hey, that's all fine.
Doing good.
Thank you for joining us on a Thursday afternoon. That's what I told the speakers the other time also.
Our pleasure.
Hi, Shraddha.
Hi, how are you doing?
All good.
Hi Hitesh.
Hi, Siddesh.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi Shraddha. Hi Hemal.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi, Siddesh.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah, hi. So, like, just to give a formal introduction to everyone here, Shraddha leads Grapes Digital, which is a leading digital agency based in North. Siddesh heads marketing for Aditya Birla Finance Yog Plus. Hemil is the founder and chief optomind at Octobuzz. And I have Abhishek, who's the VP of Digital Strategy and Innovations at Hiveminds, which is again a leading digital agency based in South. So, folks, we had a very interesting masterclass on how brands could be using Quora Ads this festive marketing season and what are some of the opportunities they have with Quora. I would like to take a step back and try and understand from each one of you what is so different with this festive marketing season, and what are some of the key digital trends that you see would shape festive marketing this year. We could probably start with you, Abhishek, and then.
Yeah. Hey, thank you. Quora for us has been good with respect to identifying these researching customers, right? Festive, the kind of clients that we deal with, for example, in the jewelry category, watches category, etc. These are now categories that inherently have a festive themed purchase, right? People wait till that season to buy these products. There are special collections that are released. The best discounts are on offer at this point, etc. And what we have noticed is there is this inherently researching customer who's going into the various collection types and as early as 2 months before the festive season starts, right? So and hence content for us anyway has been a key part of our strategy, and as a result we're seeing this kind of great results on festive marketing via Quora like platforms.
Interesting. So I do get that like Quora has been a great support for you in terms of doing research around what consumers are looking for. Hemil, could you share what are some of the trends that would shape festive marketing in 2023 according to you?
I mean, we have seen definitely that the audience is into a zone where they are revenge buying right now, whatever they have not bought during a couple of years last year, coming and fulfilling all their desires right now. We've seen an uptick throughout. I mean, like even Quora mentions overall, the 97% uptick, in terms of the number of buyers overall, in terms of the amount that has been bought over. And this year it's just gonna go further. Data and tech innovations have always played a huge role, and this point of time specifically, I think three things are going to play a huge role. One is the more specific data that you have, any tech innovations, and at the same point of time, languages again are playing going to play a very important role. I've kept saying this again and again that Bharat at this point of time is getting faster than India, and languages. Even in fact, urban audience are preferring 66% urban audience are preferring talk in their own regional languages. Whether I mean we've tried it with very interestingly with luxury brands also. The ATV, the average transaction value is pretty high, and it's always worked wonders kind of. So these three things, I think, data, technology, and going regional, going more personalized is definitely going to help.
Right. And Shraddha, how would you like to weigh in on this?
So I'll start with an anecdote. What happened is we were actually discussing sales and offers, and I think India has divided into two spaces where there is this evolved user who is basically doing a lot of research. He understands what he wants to purchase, where he wants to purchase. He wants to try a few things. And there is this user who's still getting warmed up to buying on internet, right? So one of the persons told me, before the sale starts, I start adding things to my cart. I start building my cart. So I know what I want to buy that day, or I should be the first one before the inventory finishes. So imagine a person who has so much time to build up a cart before making a purchase, the kind of effort that person will be doing in terms of researching about the product, right? So the overall effectiveness or the effort that the consumer today is putting in the lower funnel of the consumer journey has drastically increased. That means this person needs to know a lot more about what brand, what product, what ingredient, what certification, what price, and what time am I going to win the moment to make that purchase. So that's going to be one of the biggest trend apart from the trends that everyone else has added to the whole system. And I think that is where our brand should be really focusing on in terms of saying, okay, this is where the consumer will have a better conversion rate, a better attention span, and I should target my brand at that space and time.
Interesting anecdote, Shraddha. I would like to bring in Siddesh on this conversation. Siddesh, you've heard experts from Quora and agency leaders here. From your vantage point, what are some of the key action items you're looking at this festive season, and more from a digital standpoint?
So if you talk about the user specifically, festive season is a season where you have all the positive vibes around. And I think when positivity is around, the communication that you send to the user, that is the time he is able to grasp it really well. He wants to know about the offers that are around. He wants to know about what are the new launches that have happened. He wants to buy. So he's actually opened up his pocket to everybody. Like, give me the right set of product that is needed. We just saw that people are searching a lot for gifting. It's very easy to buy something that you want to buy for your own, but if you want to gift something to somebody, you need to research a lot. You need to understand the product that you're gifting to the user or your friend or relative or family. Is that gift a good one which is going to be utilized by the person or not? So hence research comes into picture again. Platforms like Quora or Google, people are spending a lot of time to research whether this particular thing that I'm going to give to somebody, is it going to be proper or not? Are there places where I can get it exchanged or something of that sort? So what are the return policies and everything which are there? Not just India, but people from all over the world during the festive season send gifts to everybody in the family. So it's very important to look at the entire gamut of things, not just from India, but from the NRI audiences as well, who wants to buy things or send it to everybody. For Aditya Birla Finance, Udyog Plus as a brand, since we are into lending business where we lend loans, business loans to MSMEs, for us, it's very important to start before the festive season, because the MSMEs will then start bumping up their inventories. They would want more cash to buy more things so that they're able to sell more things. So it's not just the festive season, but couple of months before, when he has to put that order to the manufacturer, he needs money in hand. So for me, it's very important. Being festive season, it's not just about the end consumer, but also about the manufacturers who are selling it on these platforms. So since we use technology wise data we have tie-ups with the sellers which are there online. So all these marketplaces, we are able to get how much amount of business you are doing this year and how much you must have done in the last festive season. So specifically, I'm able to get them pre-approved business loan offers and everything, so that they can try and utilize this money to get more set of products, and they can then able to host or list on more set of products to the user. So festive season, yes, it brings good news for everybody, be it a consumer, be it the manufacturer, be it the reseller, and for financial brands like us. So even if like buying a new car, you need insurance for it. So again, that comes into picture. You're buying multiple set of things. You're buying a house, if you want a home insurance, you want a home loan. So financial services also benefit a lot during festive season because most of the people try and purchase these things during the festive season. Even the smallest of the consumer loans, which Bajaj Finserv and teams like them offer, and in fact, that's something which is a very big thing during festive season. People want to buy more things with whatever amount of money they have, so they just want to make some addition to their pockets.
True. And like I think each one of you pointed out quite well that data and technology is one of the key factors or one of the key trends that will shape how we are looking at festive this season. And I think personalization has been like the talk of the town for the last 2 3 years now. And we've seen so many filters coming in place. We've seen very personalized messaging. We've seen personalized ads at scale using AI. So, like, how can like, and this is a question open for everyone here. Like, how do you think brands can use data and technology to create personalized experiences which drive people through the funnel? And like, especially during the festive season when your consumer is spoiled for choices, they have so many options at hand, and they have to pick your brand in question. So, how do you think data and technology could be used effectively here? Maybe we could start with you, Siddesh, and then like others can chip in.
Yeah. So Shraddha, I think, mentioned that people are adding a lot of things to their shopping cart. I think understanding what the user is, it starts from there. If we know that this is something which is a requirement of the user, and if we know that last year I had some 100 mobile phones, ABC mobile phones, which we had kept in stock, and this time that same ABC mobile phone, around 200, 250 people have added to the cart. So firstly, it gives you an understanding of what kind of inventory should be kept in the block when the orders are going to come in. Apart from that, using technology, if we simply start with Quora as a platform, we know the questions that people have, and the questions come in before the festive season. Plus, after the festive season, also people post a lot of questions. Those could be for returning exchanges, with respect to reviews of the products that were sold. So, using those set of things, if you're able to customize certain things, if I know that Hitesh is specifically in market for buying a MacBook Pro because he's actively searching for it, why not show him that particular product ad, and at the same point of time, if he's coming to the website directly, can I showcase it on my website? uh, these small signals are enough to give you a sense of what kind of messaging should be should be told to the user. uh, Simply put forward, if you want to go the normal way, you can do it the normal messaging. Otherwise, you can create stories out of it, and you can try to uh, give the experience to the user. So, like a MacBook Pro, if I'm trying to sell Hitesh, uh, I can start with some good reviews that people have given him, given the MacBook Pro. I can try and see if some influencer is trying to promote that particular piece. Last year, I guess Mondelez came up with a campaign where they had Shah Rukh Khan as their brand ambassador, who was trying to promote things with respect to the shopping in the local stores, and they customized that particular piece. So if we can figure out few good influencers and we can try to see if certain set of products which they promote, can that be personalized, and those features of the products can be personalized to the user. So the one single person can then just using AI can give a complete understanding of the product similar to what you get into a local store. So you walk into a store and you ask a person, "Arey, what are the features of this particular product?" And if those set of things can be done, I think that's something which will help boost the online ecosystem.
So I think adding on to that, one feature that we have kind of noticed is on platforms where you're able to get a lot of these product conversation data. We're able to see preferences of people to a very fine degree, right? Do they like a certain style of earring? Do they like a certain brand of sneakers, etc.? Right. So it gives us a rich corpus of sentiment analysis to understand and play with. And one of the GW, etc., back this up, where we are able to see that a lot of people are seeking premium products, right? The premium version of the same products are actively researching as well, right? So if I'm, say, running an ad on such a platform or on data derived from such platforms, like example Quora, I would possibly put some of my higher AOV products there as the experiment, right? To see if the more discerning customer, right, who's willing to pay that extra amount for the better version of the product, right? I identify that customer on these sort of platforms, right? And we have tried this to a large degree where and run some A/B tests where we tried just the models creative, model plus product creative, just the product creative, etc. And we're generally seeing that the more choices you offer, right, model plus product, that tends to perform better on these platforms, which means the person is already having these few choices in their head. And because you're offering those a nudge in that direction, right, they're able to complete that decision. And as a result, you have a researching customer who's willing to pay premium products. You just have to be out there and show them that right product.
Hey, you're on mute, Hitesh.
Yes, you're on mute.
I was saying, Shraddha, Hemal, do you have anything to add?
I'll just add to that. See, what happens is data is first needs to be layered with cohorting. So once you identify this is your data, let's make macro cohorts to which you would like to target. And I think we've been doing that for a lot of years, right? We've been doing youth marketing. Every meeting that I used to go for 2 years, I remember client मुझसे पूछा था, यार वो जूता मुझे follow क्यों करता रहता है? Sir, आप जूता देख रहे हो तो कुछ कर नहीं सकते ना उसका. So cohorting is important. Once we have done cohorting, now this year, I think what we need to realize is the art of moment marketing, right? So if today, and we all live in this impulse or planned buying, दो type की buying है, planned है, impulse है. In each of them, we are very looking forward to a moment to make a purchase, whether it's to do with electronics, to do with fashion, to do with food, to with whatever, our weekend, our Monday. So if we can create moment-based campaigns based on the data and cohort that you have, you've gone a good job. So that's literally 70% of the job done. Now, the 30% of the job that is left is basically to do layering in terms of communication. That's where the Rephrase AI Shah Rukh Khan campaign that you're referring to. And I think Zomato after that did with it. Then we also came up with Prega News has done something, and multiple other brands have picked that up, right? This is basically deepfake technology of AI being used into any kind of micro cohorting that we have been able to do. But if you're able to layer that with the right communication and emotion in that moment, you'll be able to drive a better spike in your overall campaign. So I think that's how data needs to be used. I think personalization as a word is being utilized in a very random way because we just keep mixing them. But personalization is completely CRM. I can't make an ad saying Dear Rahul on Facebook and then show him one ad. Hum kitna bhi theory mein baat kar le, it is not possible to manage those kinds of line set items today. So in CRM, but if you're able to do a nice app notification, for example, for Volvo Eicher, if I say, last 28 days, your truck has been driven by your driver like this. Bingo. they will be looking forward to what kind of communication is coming through me, either on WhatsApp for business or app notification or an email. I think SMS has died, but let's say somebody who opens SMS also, right? So personalization is something that should be really focused, and we should create experiences on personalization as a communication layering there, and cohorting, moment-based marketing, and then communication layering when it comes to data and customization.
Emil?
Hey, great inputs by everyone. Yeah, I mean, keep learning every day. One thing, guys, I mean, my point of view when it comes to festive marketing, most of the time what we look at is there is a lot of focus on mnemonics. Let's say Diwali, there is crackers or all, but looking at the essence of it and understanding the customer journey better is a science, and that's what gets us out to the audience. I love what Siddesh mentioned about not only, I mean, there is hyper focus on consumers, but if you look at festive marketing and if we look at all stakeholders, whether it's your immediate vendors or people in the people in the line, basically like your distributors, etc. Also kind of your employees. I mean, there are a lot of interesting campaigns that are happening basically with generative AI, etc. From an internal stakeholder point of view during festive marketing also, and it works wonders, whether it's in terms of the drive or internal motivators, or it basically leads to sales, whatever. I mean, there are a lot of stuff that happens. There's a lot of chatter about it online, etc. At the same point of time, specifically for Quora, there is a lot of opportunity there too. I mean, when it comes to personalization, and specifically, I think if I understand Quora well, the audience there is a high intent audience. Let's understand that. That is something that to simplify it, that's what really works when they are coming in the IDA model. When they're looking at interest, when they're looking at consideration, is when this audience comes here. And when this audience comes here, I mean, the tools that we have to play are very interesting. We've used image text ads, they've done well. We are just experimenting with the video ads. The kind of CTRs pretty interesting when you look at the video ads specifically, because there is high intent. And again, with promoted answers, the kind of contextualization that we can do is superb. I mean, when you can, based on the questions, the promoted answers, we can have, hire influencers to use them and put the right kind of contextual answers there and then promote them. There's nothing like that. Like, you're not talking about your product ambassadors are talking about your product. And that can be absolutely contextualized according to, well, let's say, the segment or the question, either or. And beyond that, the kind of personalization which is happening, you're right, Shraddha, that we need to use CRM. If it's not segmented, if it's not specific, it's not going to help us at all. And there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes there for sure. Not everybody has that kind of segmentations out there. At the same point of time, DWH also is very interesting, where you can do personalization. There are companies which have aggregated screens, digital screens on various 30,000-40,000 plus screens across India, across cities, and you can pretty much personalize as per the society itself. When it comes to festive marketing, that hey, override, so whatever kind of. So that is also pretty interesting. Besides that, I mean, wherever consideration comes, I think, specifically in terms of electronics, in terms of BFSI, in terms of education, that's where Quora has been pretty much a hit.
I think one key aspect is to ensure that let's take a product like promoted answers, right? We need to be very respectful as marketers and as content creators to ensure that the trust of that answer is maintained, right? Because you are finally on a platform where people come and trust that answer wholeheartedly, right? That in that they believe that the answer is fully honest, and that's what we should also honor in that sense, right? I really like that case study about Headphone Zone. Headphone Zone is a much loved brand, fantastic brand. You can be assured that the kind of suggestions that they're giving is like fantastic when it comes to the world of headphones, right? So now when they answer something, they're coming with that trust and that knowledge, and they're giving you the right set of suggestions. It incidentally happens to be a Headphone Zone ad. That's an incidental part of it, right? But I think that's what we as custodians for brands should take care of, that we are finally there on this platform to give the right answer to the people who are seeking out.
Hey, very true, yeah, Abhishek. In fact, just one point out there, I mean, the promoted answer part, we need to be very authentic, but at the same point of time, can really create thought leadership also very well there. I mean, we work with an international, finance education brand. They're in across 60 plus countries, and they are very focused, and it's a blue ocean for them. There are not many players around them. And but there are a lot of questions around it at various other parts, kind of like, and their also promoted answer really works to create thought leadership and absolute authentic answers.
And people are here for those answers, as rightly mentioned by Abhishek. If you're not able to give them the right answers, then the platform, the engagement might go down, and hence it's very important for the platform also to make sure that the answers which is being given by the brand, those are up to the mark.
I think very interesting use cases, Himul, Abhishek, Siddesh, you guys have shared. Shraddha, do you have any use cases or anything that you feel as to how brands and marketers could leverage Quora Ads better during the festive season or even otherwise?
See, I think during the festive season, generally now people are looking forward to make the right decision in certain categories, okay, which is basically to do with, let's say, electronics, or it is to do with anything to do with healthcare. It is to do with something which is going and impacting their body and their life also. So if you are able to make precise decisions for Quora, where we say that, okay, if you are in a comparison zone, so generally there is a maths at Quora also. If you're able to understand the questions that have been asked and divide that into the consumer journey, so you'll be able to say these questions are awareness-led questions, these questions are consideration-led questions, these are preference, and these are purchase-led questions, right? Now, within these questions era, what we do is generally for a client, we define and marry it with the objective of the brand. So when we know, let's say, for example, a brand like BlackBerry Suitings, it is about, and I'm sure nobody's asking for a suit comparison Quora, but just giving in a random example. But if somebody is looking forward to a brand which is saying, oh, I'm become a daddy brand, can I become more youthful for this Gen Z, right? So I need to pick up questions where I position a video post which talks about brand love, brand affinity, why am I a cooler brand, who's picking me up, right? Versus, for example, if I'm Body Shop and I know people are looking forward to conversation which are talking about just at superficial level about why PETA is not getting involved, or animal testing, or vegan free, or etc., right? Then I need to pick up questions about how am I sourcing. But if somebody is clearly asking, for example, in the headphone case study we saw, which one should I pick? Is it JBL? Is it, let's say, a Boat, or is it a Bose, right? Then we need to pick up, so saying the qualities and features of the product, right? And very subtly put in a banner which says, okay, you know what, by the way, the Festive is running an offer like this, which is only landing for, let's say, 24 hours. So Quora, while we all think people are asking questions because they're moving down the funnel, but we need to also understand their questions are a very different level. And if you're able to apply the same strategy of Google AdWords, where you create ad groups for keyword bucketing, and you do the same thing to question level, it's a difficult process. But yes, once done, you'll be able to see the right impact and ROI based on the objective that you were trying to drive for the brand. Hitesh, you're on mute.
You're on mute.
Sorry, getting used to this again. So yeah, I mean, so I think there are two interesting frameworks that you shared, Shraddha. One being cohorting, like micro cohorting, and then layering messages, personalized messages according to those cohorts. And the other bit that you mentioned about bucketing questions against objectives. My question to Hemil, Abhishek, and Siddesh here is that, do you have any such strategy frameworks that have worked for you over the years and you would want to share them as anecdotes with the audiences watching us.
Yeah, with the copyright trademark, so that nobody copies it.
I'm not saying that you share the tricks of the trade, but like probably like a good food for thought for people to follow.
I think deep segmentation definitely has worked. Finally, when it comes to rich text corpus like Quora, right? There are so much segments that you can do. Finally, it boils down to tokens, tokens of themes of the products that you're selling and so on, right? So if you go segment at that level and ensure your ad copies and your ads and videos, etc., are tuned to that degree, right? Then effectively you're helping out the customer, right? Otherwise, you're just throwing out an irrelevant ad. Just like Quora has those helpful or not upward, downward for their answers, right? If they're not clicking on your ad, that's effectively a downward for your ad.
I think that's the key. Relevancy is the key to success. The more relevant you are to the user, the more success you will get. In digital, we know everything about what the user requires when it comes to intent-based platform. Even from a non-intent-based platform, you get so many signals that can actually help you build that relevancy to the user. The more relevancy, the less spillover that you get, and the less spillover, the better cost of acquisition that you have. So I think that's what I would say: relevancy, be relevant, and to the point.
Hey, I think most of you guys have covered most of the things there. I think the most important thing, that we believe is to go more deep when it comes to the matrix also, when it comes to analysis for it. And attribution always is not a straight line, and being creative there at times is very important to really understand whether what's really working and then accordingly take a course.
Right. So like I'll just wrap up the session with this one last question, which is like, and you could answer it in a word or a phrase, but like one learning, one advice for young advertising and marketing professionals on how they should be approaching festive marketing. It could be a detailed answer as well, but like you could shoot your shot. I mean, Hemal, you could start.
Would definitely suggest that we always think of hunting, right? And at that point of time, it's not always very productive. I always go with this saying that farm, not hunt. In farming, you really kind of care both sides. You dig deep. You basically kind of sow seeds from before, plan well, and I mean, at the end, we are an agrarian economy.
Abhishek, you're on mute.
I think festive is generally a happy period for everyone involved, except for maybe sales, marketing, and supply chain folks. It's quite hectic, but I think generally bring in that element of joy. It's a period that we all look forward to. Bring in that amount of joy in anything that you're creating, right? Be it the content, be it the copies. People are looking forward to have a relaxed time in that part of the year, right? Don't be too pushy. Just have fun with the kind of content that you're creating during that period.
I was thinking if I can put it in a word, but I couldn't, honestly. See, generally festive marketing is where 30% of the sales of any company and at a figure comes out to be, right? So MD ko sirf paisa chahiye. So that's what he's looking at. Don't go here and there to many places, because generally as a young advertiser, you're bubbling with ideas. So you want to do a viral film also, you want to do sales also, you want to create some social engagement also, you want to do an outdoor activity also. That I was reading the questions that people are asking. Somebody would want to say, "Mujhe Zomato bana do, meri industry ka," right? You can't achieve everything in the same period, in the same budget. So very categorically define, if your budget is $100, $100 and the objective is sales, does $100 needs to go into sales. So then you can say if $80 needs to go into sales, then 20, you need to do something else. So $80 is equal to X amount of sales that you need to drive with that. Now with 20, if you're being said that, oh, I want to drive engagement or I want to drive awareness, then you pick up that as a KPI. If you muggle up all your briefs and give that कि चलो festive पे कुछ करते हैं तो कुछ ही मिलेगा, सब कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. So be very clear about your mapping of budget to objective and returns that you're trying to get.
Dish.
I would just say stay focused on your objective. Like Shraddha mentioned, don't go all the way all over the place. It's going to be festive season. All the users are going to open their pockets, and at the same point of time, all the brands are also going to open their pockets. So it is not going to be a cheap inventory available. So whatever you're spending, make sure you spend it wisely. That's it. I think nothing much, that much amount of wisdom. Just try and take it from somebody who has done it in the past, and just go all over the place.
Great. Thank you, each one of you, for sharing such amazing anecdotes and insights. I think the audience even loved what you guys had shared, and I think there are a good bunch of questions that have come to us. Maybe we'll get in touch with you to get them answered. Thanks a lot, guys.
So, thank you, guys. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a great
Thanks,
day.
Hitesh.
Bye.